Hi there, welcome back to the Nook and happy Mother's Day to all you mamas out there. We're doing a yoga flow today specifically made for your body and mind. So have a comfortable seat, lay your hands in your lap, close your eyes if it's possible. If you have a little one joining you, encourage them to close their eyes too and just start to connect with your breath. And do big inhales today. Soak in the celebration of being a mom and exhale out the mouth. Anything that doesn't need attention for the next 15 minutes or so. Inhale one more time, big. Exhale, release. Taking that one hand, reaching on the opposite knee, sitting up tall, and then the other one can come to the side or behind you, finding a nice gentle twist. Peeking to the diagonal or even back over the shoulder. Inhale tall, exhale twist, and then we'll go to the other side. Sitting up tall first, that hand can be to the side or behind. If it feels good, keep those eyes closed, keep that intention inward. Lots of distractions I'm sure to come today. But taking this time, whether you're on a yoga mat or just the floor, for you. One more inhale for length, exhale twist. And then fold it on forward over those bent legs, letting your head drop, chin towards your chest. You stay where you are. I'm going to shift because I run out of mat. And then walk those hands even further out, all the way up over those knees into a tabletop position. And today we'll tuck our toes under for our cat-cow. So find that stretch to the bottom of your foot. And then inhale, tailbone goes high, eyes to the sky. Exhale, round it out for cat. Last inhale to gaze up. Exhale to round. And then send those hands one hand length in front of you. And then drop into like a modified plank. And we're going to shift our hips over to the right. And then they go back. See how close you can get them to those heels that are still lifted, and then to the left, and then back through. One more time that direction. So making the biggest hip circle that your body's able to make today. Once you get back to that modified plank, go to the left. If things are creaking and cracking, that's okay. It's just air being released. One more time, the same direction. And when you get to that modified plank, we're going to lower it all the way down onto the mat. I'm going to adjust because I'm running out of space. If you don't know me personally, I'm pretty tall, so I have to move a lot in the video. Relax your feet. Inhale up, cobra. Exhale down. One more time, inhale up, cobra. Or if you're ready for it, upward facing dog. And then we'll all press to our knees, tuck your toes, and find your first downward facing dog. The upside down letter V with your body. Doing things a little bit differently today. Instead of starting with our flow, we're gonna lift your left leg high and step it through. Dropping that back leg. Finding your low lunge or hands up to your knees for that Anjaneyasana stretch. And then shifting those hips back for that half split. Now, whatever that looks like, if your hands touch the floor, that toes towards the sky. If those hands don't touch the floor, they can be on your hips or your thigh for the balance. Feeling a long, strong, good stretch to the back of your leg. And then we're gonna walk it over to the front. So that leg's gonna come out to the side. Heels lined up with your knee, and then come up for a gate pose. That foot is flexed towards the sky. Then we go towards it. And then away from it. We go back towards. And away. This time we come up, and then we go forward, shifting those hips back. Maybe even resting on your heel, but if not, it's just a little back and forth, stretching out your inner thigh. And then shifting forward to table, tuck that knee in, kick the other leg out, and we start with the reverse. We rock it back and forth or sink it back to your heel. Treating each side as an individual because each side is. One's usually a little more bendy than the next. And then we'll bring it up and we'll do that same flow. Flex that foot towards the sky, go towards the leg, and away. Reach it up, using that strong core muscle all the way around your body. One more time, away. And then we're up and we turn and face that straight leg for the split. So either hands come down, pulling that front leg back, back hip forward, or it's hands on hips or thighs, finding a shift that works for this side. And then shifting it forward into that low lunge. And it can be low or reaching it up. And then hands come down, step it back, and enter into your downward facing dog. And then we're gonna tiptoe those toes up behind your hands, keeping your feet wide, lifting up halfway. All 10 toes facing the same direction, and then exhale, fold. Roll up one vertebrae at a time, all the way to the top, rolling your shoulders back and down, finding that strong mountain pose, and thanking yourself for showing up for something for you today. On this Mother's Day, or whenever you're doing this flow, let's flow together. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant those hands. Step your feet back, either plank or modify. Take it through your first vinyasa. So if you're new to the vinyasa, it's that elbows bend. You can keep your knees down. Elbows bend. And then come up to that upward facing dog. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Inhale, lift that right leg high. Exhale, step it through. We're going to find our warrior one. So warrior one, your front foot facing forward, that back foot turned in at 45 degrees, pulling that right hip back, left hip forward. And then when you're ready, hands come hips, heart, or high to the sky. Relax through your shoulders, but power up through those arms, wrapping those biceps and triceps around the top of your arms. One more inhale. And then exhale, open, warrior two. So hips shift, going forward, shoulders lined up over them, deep knee bend, arms come straight up, and then we take that glance, that gaze, right over that front fingertip, and then take a peek down. Make sure you can see your big toe, maybe even your first 2 or 3 toes, and if not, press your knee back further behind you. We don't want it sickled in. Inhale, we reach forward, exhale, reverse. And find your extended side angle. Today, I'm taking it nice and easy. It's on the leg. My forearm is on the thigh. I find that really straight, strong line from my fingertips all the way down to my heels. If you want a bigger variation, you can bring it down to the floor. You can bring it to a bind, wherever you'd like to go. But today, I'm using it as a stretch and restorative. Your next inhale, come back through warrior two, reverse it, straighten that front leg as you're reaching back, and then shift those hips back and reach in for your triangle pose. Now I tend to hyperextend my front leg, which means it bends backwards if I do it straight, so I do keep a little bend, but do what works for you. And you can hold if you need a little extra help today on that thigh or on your shin. If you want a little bit more core work, let it hang heavy. I'm gonna add a little motion to this, like I'm the giant standing above you. Pull it on up, so you're straight up tall, and then send those hips back and reach to that triangle. 2 more just like that. Pulling it on up, using that strong core. Bring it on down. 1 more time, I'm pulling your hand Up, 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 and then all 10 toes face the same direction. It's a forward fold into our prasarita. I like my hands on my hips, kind of pressing my hips back, letting my head hang forward. If you would like to gently press your hands behind your head to guide your gaze back between those legs. And before we do the other side, we're going to just take a shift. So it's a side bend, that knee, up the other way, side bend the other leg. So a little inner and outer thigh stretch. Now if Skandasana is in your practice, join me and come all the way down. Hands or no hands, all the way up to the other side. And then all the way up to the center, one more forward fold. We inhale, halfway lift. Then hands come to our hips. And once again, that core comes into play. Stand it all the way up, face the other direction. We find our warrior one. So our left foot is forward, our right foot is at a 45 degrees. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward, and then do the same with your arms. Or they're up. Same thing you did on the other side. So think of reaching in opposition. So those fingertips reach strong towards the ceiling or the sky if you have the pleasure of being outside. Relax your shoulders, but keep the reach. One more inhale. And then exhale, warrior two. Send it open, send it up. Adjust. I need to usually make my stance a little bit longer. Peek down. Make sure you can at least see your big toe. If not, press that knee back gently. And then we stack. Shoulders over hips. Knee over ankle. Find the arms. And then shift the gaze. In yoga, this is called the drishti, that one point that's not moving, that helps us with our balance. And then we inhale, reverse, reaching it up, and then finding your extended side angle. Drop the arm, reach it up, reach it over, and then same options. So I'm just leaning on my forearm, pressing my shoulders away to find the length. You can, of course, bring it to the ground. You can wrap and find a bind. But for me today, I'm staying here. Bring it on up, warrior two, and reverse, and straighten that leg gladly. And then tip it back, those hips go back, reach it forward to find your triangle. And once again, if you need the help, it's the thigh, it's the calf, maybe it's the floor, but don't sacrifice that form. I'd rather have you a little bit higher and have that back straight and strong. Or let that little elephant trunk hang. Now we go with the pulls, pulling it all the way up, straight and strong, shoulders stack over hips, and then lower it slow. And all the way up, and lower it slow. One more time up. This time we turn our feet, we shuffle them in a little bit, and those heels turn in, the toes turn out, and we find our goddess squat. So we're here, then knees bend, arms bend, and we're straight to the sky. Exhale, pull. Inhale, stand. Exhale, pull. Inhale and exhale. One more time, up and down. Final piece of work. Hands come behind the ears gently, and we work our core one final time, tipping back and forth. No need to touch those elbows to your knees unless it comes pretty naturally. Pulling your belly button in towards your spine. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come center, stand up, fold it forward, prasarita. And then just walk those hands out so you're in like a wide-legged forward fold, hands down. And then simply drop those knees, turn onto your seat, and roll onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest, and give a little rock side to side. The next time your knees drop to the right, let them fall. They can stack, they can stagger. Knees to the right, gaze to the left. Reconnect with that deep breath. Then bring them up through the center. Do that same variation. So if you stacked, you stack. If you stagger, you stagger. Knees to the left, gaze to the right. And then one more time, back up through center. Give yourself one final squeeze. Tuck those knees, lift your head, forehead towards the legs, and let it go. Relax it. Shavasana. This is where we soak it all in. Closing your eyes. If it feels comfortable, return to that intention from the beginning of taking a moment, a time out, if you will, for yourself. And placing one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And if you're a mama joining me for this one today, soak it in all the love, all the joy, and all the lessons our children provide us with. Rolling onto your favorite side, resting your head in your arm into this fetal position. And then gently, eventually, up to seat, into a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. Legs can be crossed, eyes can be soft, hands heavy in the lap. One more inhale together, arms come down, around, and up, over the top, and then pressing to heart center. If it feels safe to you, bow and say, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me on that Mother's Day yoga flow today. If you haven't joined the Strong as a Mother challenge for this week, you have to. I put the link in the notes. It is 7 days of taking care of yourself, giving back to the person that deserves it the most, the mama of the household. Happy Mother's Day. If you're not signed up for the challenge, you can find the link in the notes or hit me up on Instagram at Great Days by Sarah. I hope all the moms out there have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Happy Mother's Day.